Hi, my name is Greg Holbus from the Machickanee Players. This is a training video that is meant for anyone who's working as house manager. Also anyone who has a key, so any officer or director of a show that has a key to the facility, how to open up, shut it down, and other responsibilities of being a house manager. So we're here at the Park Avenue Theater in Oconto. This building has 3 entrances. The one on my left is the northwest entrance. This is the main entrance where our patrons come in and out of. Because it leads right to the box office inside. The second entrance here, southwest entrance, we don't really use this right now because of some issues with the pavement. We are hoping to fix that this summer. We're also hoping to raise some funds and install a wheelchair lift right here as well. So once we do that, this entrance will be used a lot more often than it is right now. And then we have our annex entrance, southeast side. This is generally where the cast and the crew and house staff come in and out of. So obviously, first thing to do is to unlock the doors. And then we've got 2 sets of lights here. First one turns on this exterior light, which you probably can't see right now because it's really bright outside. And then the second switch turns on this light in the hall. I'll close the door behind me. Now I've already gone ahead and turned on this light here in advance, and the reason I did that was because the light switch is actually buried behind this debris. And the first time I tried to record this video, I lost the video in the commotion. But the switch is right back there. But to the left, the bathrooms, or the men's restroom. A lot here might be changing because we're hoping to do some renovations. We've already gotten some money raised for that. But for the time being, this tank that goes to the urinal has to be turned on. There's a little valve down here. Let's turn that on and let it go. The tank is on a semi-auto flush, so it'll take care of itself. I'm going to turn this off now just so I'm not wasting water. The other thing that you want to do while you're in the bathrooms is to make sure that we've got enough toilet paper, that we have enough paper towel. We're doing pretty good here. And that the trash is empty. Here it is not. Several weeks after a show, so it's just been used lately. We haven't been cleaning it up lately. And again, just to save energy, I'm going to go ahead and turn it off right now. There are 2 thermostats in the middle of the annex hall. I don't know if both of them are functional, but when we are going to do a show, I do set them up to 70. Something just clicked, so I think that one's functional. This one, probably not. So those are the first 2 of 4 thermostats I'm going to show you. And basically, opening and shutting down this building comes down to 4 things. Unlocking doors, turning on lights. This is the women's restroom. The light is hiding behind the door here. So unlocking doors, turning on lights, setting thermostats, and then making sure that the bathrooms are clear and ready to go. So you got toilet paper. It's hiding, but the toilet paper is there. Garbage can looks empty. This garbage can, obviously not. Check the paper towel dispenser here. A little bit more used. Again, I'm just going to turn lights off behind me since I don't really need them. Because honestly, closing is just the reverse of opening, so I'm not going to waste half of this video repeating everything. I'm just going to shut it off as I use it. This is our cleaning closet. It's got supplies, paper towel, toilet paper right in front of me. So if we're low on either of those in the bathrooms, come in here to grab them. If anything needs to get cleaned, we've got cleaning chemicals in here. But all sorts of good stuff, vacuums, mops, blah, blah, blah. Everything should be clean before you get here. Not expecting you to do a lot of cleaning when you're opening for a show. This switch also controls this light, which we also controlled from that switch down there. So either one will turn that one on or off. All right, into the main hall. Just to the right of the entrance, we've got two switches that you can't see because they're black. And that turns on the house lights. We're hoping to do some renovations on lighting this summer, so the switches might change, but I mean, it's a switch, it's lights. Not that big of a deal. For a show, particularly when we get customers starting to come in, we do switch from these working lights that are on to what are right now the ambient lights on these ceiling fans. The ceiling fans are also going to be replaced with some other mood lighting. And to do that, you just go into the light and sound booth. There we go. And then for this one, so you got this panel here, the smaller box. A and B up will turn on the ceiling fan lights. Then we kill the house lights. They look a little bit nicer, a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. Again, I'll kill these now for the moment. So this is the southwest entrance over here. There's a light here that will turn on. Oh, sorry. We'll unlock this door first. We'll be replacing these locks in the summer, so these latches won't be here anymore. Thank God. But you unlock this door, and this is the entrance where, like I said, we're going to have that wheelchair lift. But that switch, excuse me, the switch we turned on here turns on that light, which is really gross and needs to be replaced. That light stays on 24/7. So this is, when you go home at night, this is the only light that should still be on, save for the big one in front of my car up there. There we go. So, generally don't want to unlock this until it's time to start letting patrons in. So I'm going to go ahead and relatch this door. And so I don't forget, I'll turn off that light. And then third and final door is the northwest entrance, again, right next to the box office. So this is where we want our customers coming in from. Again, we leave this locked until we're ready to start letting people in. But here's that entrance, and this light, or that switch, turns on that light. The other switch is a second switch for some of our work lights. Can't wait to replace those. So, yeah, a lot of things are going to change for this job. Probably should have waited until after the renovations to make this video, but I did want to get something posted right away. Because for all the changes we're going to have soon, I mean, the job is still going to be the same. I just want you to know where all the light switches are, where all the thermostats are. And speaking of thermostats, here's number 3 of 4. We set this in the winter. You're going to want to set it really high. I usually do 80 degrees to start, just because we want the theater to be heated up a bit before the show starts. So as you can tell, that heater is really noisy. And we want to heat up the theater so that before showtime, we drop it down to about 60, so that that heater doesn't kick on in the middle of a performance. Got some switches in here for our back area. Fourth and final thermostat is between the two dressing rooms. You can adjust that as well. This one I would just adjust to 70 though, when it's in use. It's really just the main hall that we need. to turn on extra high. Light switch for the rest of the lights in the back office. There's a lamp here for the box office area. I should say that we're planning on clearing out this entire back area, meaning box office, all the storage and props, this area that we consider our green room. All of this is going to get excavated and reorganized and rebuilt to hopefully make better use of space. There's some lights in the kitchen, but none that you really have to worry about. Actually, there's a switch here. They'll turn on those work lights. You don't really have to worry about that fan if you don't want to. So, let's see. We've covered all 3 doors. We've covered all 4 thermostats. And I believe we've covered all the lights and the bathrooms. So, that's pretty much it for opening. Just prior to the show starting, we've got this digital kiosk right above the concession stand. We want to pause it when it's on this screen, when it's saying silence your phone, because it's a darker image. It's got red highlights, so it shouldn't interfere with the customer's enjoyment of the show. To pause it, on this remote, you'll hit Tools, Stop Slideshow, with the Enter button in the middle. And now it's frozen, and it's not going to go back to the slideshow until I hit Tools. And see up here, Start Slideshow is selected. So I'll hit the button again, and now it will keep scrolling. We normally just leave this on and we just freeze it during performance time. So you're going to want to freeze it right before the show begins. And then when we start intermission, you're going to want the scrolling to resume. And then when we come back from intermission, you're going to want to freeze it one more time. Let's see. What else? I can show you the stage lights that need to be turned on. So you got one more switch here that turns on some mood lighting back here. Not going to be able to see it until I turn it on, but there is a switch back here. So here's the steps, here's the wall, there's the switch. That turns on the work lights back here. We can have these on until right before show. The stage lights will come on and end up illuminating the stage. To do that, there is this power strip that needs to be turned on, and these breakers that need to be turned on. That activates this monstrosity of equipment that I don't really know how it works, but it gets the lights working and the speakers working. And when you close up at night after the show, you'll have to kill these as well. Go ahead and kill this switch. And we'll kill that as well. So, from a stage manager perspective, that's pretty much it. You don't have to memorize all this stuff. We do have a handy-dandy checklist. It's a little bit outdated, and it's going to be more outdated after we do some renovations and repairs. But for right now, it actually does a pretty good job of getting you through everything. We have 3 laminated copies that we keep in the kitchen. Only other thing to talk about, so I guess for those of you who are just using the facility, if you're a director or an officer, just make sure that when you leave at the end of the night, that you're locking all the doors, that you're turning off all the lights, both inside and outside, and that the thermostats are reset to 60. So again, 4 thermostats, I don't know how many light switches, and 3 doors to make sure are locked. If you're a house manager, the only other thing to really train you on is the 5-minute warning. So about 5 minutes before the show starts and before intermission, the lights and sound booth will typically flash some lights indicating a 5-minute warning. It's helpful to make a public announcement explaining what the flashing lights means, asking people that need to go to the bathroom to do so quickly, and to get back to their seats as quickly as we can so that the show can proceed without causing a lot of delays for the other customers in the room. I'm probably going to introduce some two-way radios at our next show. We haven't used them yet, but it's an idea that I just had. Because what we typically do, if you're the house manager, is you go in, you have a look at the bathrooms and see if anyone's still in there. Since I'm a guy, I wouldn't walk into the women's room, but I would kind of state loudly and ask, is there anybody in there? And if there is, let them know that there's a 5-minute warning. And then I would check the men's room as well. If you're a woman, go into the women's room and just shout into the men's room. But in any event, you kind of want to stay here and guard the door. It's not that you can't let people in to go to the bathroom at the last minute, but standing here kind of discourages them and lets them know that, hey, we're about to start the show again. And you can communicate with the radios to both the lights and sound crew and to the stage manager, who should be back in the green room with all the actors, how many people are still in the bathrooms, how many people we're waiting on, so that they have an idea of how much longer they got to wait before we start lights and sound, and before the actors need to be back up on stage. So just kind of keeping guard of this doorway, keeping track of who's in the bathroom and who's not, kind of helps things run fluid. It's something, honestly, we've struggled with in the past in terms of good communication, so we're going to try to improve on that going forward. So, like I said, end of the night, everything's in reverse. Lock all the doors. I've been locking them as I've been opening them. Kill all the lights, which I'm going to do right now. The kiosk can stay on. These ceiling fans don't turn all the way off, which is one reason why I'm going to get rid of them and replace them. Thermostats to 60, and you're done. At the end of a show, make sure that you are emptying out the garbage cans, so that in the or when you're coming in and opening up the theater, all you're doing is verifying that the garbage cans are still empty, but they should be done the night before, so you're not doing anything extra work. You're not doing any extra work when you come in. That's it for this training video. Thank you for watching.